Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Look at the justice rising up here. Vegan guns for justice. Great way to support the show, folks. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where I go live every Monday night. Rockfin Premium members at 8 o'clock Pacific. I talk a lot about things we can do to, I talk a lot about the environment on the show and how we can fix it and how we can save it. And there's little things that start, and I say, vote with your dollars. I say, pressure your local governments, because that's how that's one of the effective ways. Like you just have now General Motors as announced, I think by 2035, they're going to have an all electric cars. They're not going to sell any gas cars anymore. Not that electric cars are like the fix all, but that's why, towns, states, little municipalities, whatever, banning single-use plastics is important. There's 5 islands of floating garbage. And why I talk about how important on the local level is because here's a story that I just saw actually on Twitter, and I just wanted to bring this out because it's pretty amazing. Glasgow and Edinburgh are becoming the UK's first net zero cities. Mass charging points for electric vehicles, electric buses, all powered by UK's largest onshore wind farm. Producing less. It's not just about recycling. Do you see that? And they're doing it already. So the UK already has a 2045. They want to do this. Glasgow and Edinburgh are like, no, we're doing it sooner. And in America, people were just dancing in the streets a couple weeks ago because they elected Joe Biden, who said he will not ban fracking. Kamala Harris said they will not ban fracking. Ocasio-Cortez, who was a big proponent of the Green New Deal, has sold out her own Green New Deal and saying it doesn't bother her. So this is why I talk about how important it is to get on local city councils. So Los Angeles just got Nithya Raman, or maybe it's pronounced Ramon, on the LA City Council. She beat a guy that was supported by Hillary Clinton and by Nancy Pelosi because he's in bed with the developers. She beat him because she's for rent control and taking care of the citizens. The city of Los Angeles a year or so ago said, oh, we're going to do a Green New Deal. Oh, great. But it was a lip service, coexist sticker on a hybrid type of Green New Deal. You need to pressure wherever you live to start this. So one of the things they're doing in these cities is to getting rid of being a car first city to encourage people to have more bikes, more public transportation. And how are we going to pay for it? Stop spending money on war. And in America, I'll use Los Angeles as an example. So when we say defund the police, we don't mean take no more police and everybody just does on the honor system. What we mean is reallocate money. We need refund the police. Los Angeles Police Department gets 54% of the city's operating budget, $3.1 billion. So what if we cut that amount of money in half and we reallocate the money rather than rubber bullets and tear gas and military grade equipment and up armored vehicles. What if we spent that on dealing with the home, like the Housing First program that we've talked about, right? There's now homeless people. There's an upsurge in a World War I trench disease that used to happen to soldiers fighting trench warfare 100 years ago. That's now back on the streets of America because the homeless problem is so bad. It was bad before COVID-19. The CARES Act, which just gave a bunch of money to the wealthy, didn't really take care of the American citizens. We now have more homeless people. So what if our local money, rather than for the domestic war machine of police departments, we spent it actually on its citizens? And most cops would tell you they don't want to deal with the homeless. What if we've got the homeless off the streets, got them in housing, not shelters, the Housing First program that they use in Finland? I've talked about this before. They did this about 10 years ago. The housing was really bad. Our homeless problem was really bad in Finland. So they put people in housing because they found this loophole. Shelters don't work because in order to get a job, you need to have a permanent address. In order to have a permanent address, you need to have a job. So they couldn't do it. Put people in the home, studio, 1-bedroom apartment. So now they got food, they got clothing, they got shelter. And then there's job training, and the money they spent to do all this cost less than the shelters and the cops and everything else. So you see what I'm talking about? So we take some of that money back to the LA model. We cut that $3.1 billion in half. And you can do this in cities all over America because most cities, they give their cops way too much money. And we spend that money on the homeless, and we spend that money on schools. So that's taking care of a big part of the crime problem. We use drug treatment as a health issue. We treat the addiction, we don't criminalize addicts. We decriminalize it like they just did in Oregon, all drugs, and help people with addiction. Right? And some of that money, schools, addiction, homelessness, some of that money goes for, public transportation. More bike lanes. Electric buses, electric municipal vehicles, all of the city's vehicles running some type of clean energy, solar panels on all the city's buildings. Places like LA that have a drought issue, rainwater catchers on all the city's buildings. Do you see this? That's how you could transform the second largest city in America. It likes to think of itself as this like liberal environmental utopia. It's not. It's got natural gas buses, but again, natural gas comes from fracking. It's awful. And all that money I'm talking about is putting more Americans to job while making people's lives better, making the cops' jobs actually easier, and making the environment better. Do you see how this is all connected? With the goal of being net zero, let's pick a date. Let's do it by 2035, 2030. Let's get bold, man. We can't keep kicking this can down the road. We just got out of brush fire season. It was awful. We could have a bunch of rains. Now we could have flood season. We need to capture all the rainwater. Let's think innovatively. There's all these jobs. You watch that thing like, they're making more charging stations. That's jobs for people living in Scotland, right? Those are jobs. You see that? We're going to have more of an energy demand. So we need more wind turbine. Sounds like more jobs for the Scottish. We could do that here on a local level. Rather than spending all this money on, it's the same thing on our foreign policy is the same. We spend all this money on war. We outspend the next 10 countries combined. So that's why local politics are so important. I wanted to show you what they were doing and see how we can connect it here. Thanks for watching the show. Let's think outside the box. Let's all get smart. Let's all get creative. And let's say no more to the war machine. No more to the corporations. No more to the billionaires. No more. Let's take care of each other. Get real lefties, not Democrat. You can't reform the Democratic Party with it. They can't. The Squad, Bernie, Tulsi, get the fuck out of that party. If you're truly about being progressive, get out of that party. Otherwise, it's where progressives go to die. So that's why we need people like Nithya Raman, Kishwama Sawant, people like that. The mayor of Baldwin Park is a 26-year-old guy. He's in the Green Party. He just won. He just beat an 18-year corporate Democrat incumbent. 26-year-old Green is now the mayor of Baldwin Park, a suburb of Los Angeles. That's what I mean. A Green mayor, a Green city council, a socialist city council, a socialist mayor, a DSA, a pro-labor, right? That's how you get these things transformed. Because I guarantee you, they don't just have two parties in Scotland. I guarantee you that. They don't just have two parties that are for war, two parties that are for-profit healthcare, two parties that are for Wall Street, two parties that are for-profit prisons, two parties that are not for saving the environment. I guarantee they don't have that in those two cities I just showed you in Scotland. I guarantee it. I don't know much about their politics, and I know I'm right when I say that because nobody is as dumb as America is with this two-party bullshit. Wake up, get out of the duopoly, fix it on a local level. That's how we can save this country and this planet. Thanks for watching. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at grahamelwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.